I'm super excited about today because this practice has changed my life. It is so powerful. It has changed the lives of many of my students and clients, and it's called flipping the fear. Flipping the fear. Okay, so how does this work? Basically, every single anxious thought that arises, I've yet to find a single anxious thought that comes up in your mind, my mind anyway, that produces anxiety. Every single one of those has underneath it a desire, a corresponding desire, longing, yearning. For instance, if you are anxious about an exam that you have to take, next week, the desire underneath is, I really want to do well. That's level 1. Okay, that's obvious, you might say, but what is it about doing well? What would doing well feel like? It would feel like I really belong here. It would feel like I'm smart or I know what I'm doing. It would feel like I have confidence in my body. So there's layers and layers of that desire and that longing that we want to get to that is energetically completely different than saying, I'm so worried about this exam. I am terrified about this exam. What if I fail this exam? What if? When we live in that anxiety, it closes us down. It constricts us. It makes our bodies feel bad. It's a constriction of energy, trying to control the outcome, trying to get us some control, some purchase in the world that is essentially out of our control. I'm assuming you study for the exam, you do the best that you can, and then there's this anxiety that's kind of layered on top. So when we flip the anxiety, we can access a completely different feeling. So I'm going to give you a personal example from my life, where I wrote about this in my book, What Now? Meditation for Your 20s and Beyond, where one day I was at a beach with my crush at the time. I had a big crush on this guy. He was at the beach with me, and also at the beach was his girlfriend that he was very much in love with. And they were kind of canoodling on the beach, and I started to feel so sad. And that moved very quickly into super anxiety about am I ever going to meet someone? I'm getting older. There's not enough guys out there. There's something wrong with me. I'm never going to meet someone. Lots and lots and lots of anxiety just pouring through my system. It was a very familiar anxiety. It was a very familiar anxiety to me about, will I ever meet anyone? Will anybody ever love me? Does love even exist? Etc., etc. So I don't know why, but for some reason that day on the beach, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go into the ocean. And when I was in the ocean, it was a wave beach. As each wave was kind of coming in and coming to the shore, I said, you know what? With each wave, I'm going to say something I want. Rather than say something I'm afraid of, I'm going to say something I want, because that was a big thing I wanted, was to meet someone, to find love. And so I started, trying, first saying, I want to meet someone, but it wasn't really connecting me. So then I started much simpler. I said, I really want a dress that I saw at this store, and I can't afford it, but I really want it. And that I could really access. I could feel the desire for that dress in my body. And as the wave came up, I just let that desire wash over me. Oh, I really want it. And then as I dug underneath that, why do I want it so badly? Then the next wave, I said, I really want to feel pretty. And then the next wave, I said, because I really want someone else to find me pretty. And then the next wave, I said, because I really want to find love. And I just let myself have these wants, wave after wave of saying the things that I wanted, from the silliest of the dress to the most real, authentic yearning and desire of a partner, of love, to be fully accepted and seen. Okay, when you do this practice, I almost guarantee you something's going to happen, which is a voice is going to come up super fast that says, but what if you don't get it? But what if you don't get it? And then you get your hopes up. Like, clamp it down. Stop it. Don't think about that desire, because then you're going to want it. Then it's going to come forth. And what if you don't get it? And then you got your hopes up, and that's going to feel terrible. That is anxiety. Anxiety is that voice that tries to clamp down on the desire and the longing. So again, notice the anxiety. Oh, hi, anxious Annie. Hi, little ice pick of worry. Whatever your little voice is, you can notice it. Notice that it's coming in to try and help you, to try and protect you, to try and not get your hopes up. And then I want you to really ask yourself the question, ever in your life, has it worked to say, don't get your hopes up? Has it ever worked? Do you not get your hopes up and then, are as happy as can be? In my experience, maybe it works to not let me get excited, but it never works to not let me be disappointed when something didn't happen that I wanted. If I say to myself, I really want to get this job that I'm, trying to get. I really want to get the job. And then I say to myself, oh, don't want it. Don't get your hopes up. Then I live between the time I don't know if I get the job to the time that I know whether or not I got the job in a terrible state of anxiety and clenched and crunchness, don't get your hopes up, don't get your hopes up, then you won't be disappointed. And then let's say I get the job. Awesome. I just spent that entire week in misery. Let's say I don't get the job. Ugh, I feel so sad. I feel so disappointed. Did any of that, not getting my hopes up actually prevent me from feeling that disappointment? Absolutely not. It did not. I still feel disappointed. And I offer it to you. Ask yourself that question. Has it ever helped you? So I'm not saying that just opening up to the desire will make the desire happen. It might. We have no idea how energy works. And, there's a lot of people, it's not my training, but there's a lot of people that believe in kind of manifesting and really calling in that which we desire. And so there's a lot of stuff to go behind that. But at the very least, in the time you don't know whether or not you'll get the thing that you want, at least you can access some of the pleasure of wanting. Because touching into that longing and that desire can actually be kind of pleasurable. It can feel nice to allow those waves of wanting to wash over you. Sometimes it actually almost feels the same way as if you were to actually get it. Just letting yourself want it feels almost or as good as actually getting it. It definitely, I'm pretty sure, at least in my experience, feels better than just sitting in the anxiety of whether it doesn't actually happen.